Hi everybody, so today I'm going to be reading the entire Wikipedia article for iPhone, and you're probably wondering why I'm doing this. It's because about 3.5 years ago, I tried to do the same thing, but unfortunately it was too long and I failed. Well, actually the real reason was because it was getting close to my bedtime. But anyways, I'm going to try and again read the entire Wikipedia article for iPhone, but the problem is it's gotten even longer than before. Yeah, this is pretty long. Alright, let's begin. iPhone. The iPhone was a 900 smartphones produced by Apple that use Apple's own iOS mobile operating system. The first generation iPhone was announced by then Apple CEO Steve Jobs on January 9, 2007. Since then, Apple has annually released new iPhone models and iOS updates. As of November 1st, 2018, more than 2.2 billion iPhones have been sold. The iPhone was the first mobile phone to use multi-touch technology. Since the iPhone's launch, it has gained larger screen sizes, video recording, waterproofing, and many accessibility features. Up to the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, iPhones had a single button on the front panel, with the iPhone 5S and later integrating a Touch ID fingerprint sensor. Since the iPhone X, iPhone models have switched to a nearly bezel-less front screen design with Face ID facial recognition and app switching activated by gestures. Touch ID is still used for the budget iPhone SE series. The iPhone is one of the two largest smartphone platforms in the world alongside Android and is a large part of the luxury market. The iPhone has generated large profits for Apple, making it one of the world's most valuable publicly traded companies. The first generation iPhone was described as a revolution for the mobile phone industry, and subsequent models that have also garnered praise. The iPhone has been credited for popularizing the smartphone and snake from factor, and with creating a large market for smartphone apps or app economy. As of January 2017, Apple's App Store contained more than 2.2 million applications for the iPhone. History. Development of an Apple smartphone began in 2004 when Apple started to gather a team of 1,000 employees led by hardware engineer Tony Fadell, software engineer Scott Forstall, and designer office Johnny Ive to work on the highly and Project Purple. Then Apple CEO Steve Jobs steered the original focus away from a tablet, which was later revisited in the form of the iPad, towards a phone. Apple created a device doing a secretive collaboration with Singular Wireless, later named AT&T Mobility, and an estimated development cost of 150 million US dollars over 30 months. According to Jobs in 1998, the iWood and iMac and iPod, iPhone, iPad stands for Internet, Individual, Instruct, Inform, and Inspire. I didn't know that. Apple rejected the design by committee approach that had yielded the Motorola ROKR-E1, a largely unsuccessful iTunes phone made in collaboration with Motorola. Among other deficiencies, the Roku E1's firmware limited storage to only 100 iTunes songs to avoid competing with Apple's iPod Nano. Singular gave Apple the liberty to develop the iPhone's hardware and software in-house, and a real practice at the time, and paid Apple a fraction of its monthly service revenue until the iPhone 3G in exchange for 4 years of exclusive US sales until 2001. Jobs unveiled the first generation iPhone to the public on January 9, 2007 at the Macro 2007 convention, the Moscow Center in San Francisco. The iPhone incorporated a 3.5-inch multi-touch display with a few hardware buttons and ran the iPhone OS operating system with a touch-friendly interface, then marketed as a version of macOS 10. It launched on June 29, 2007 at a starting price of $499 US dollars in the United States and required a 2-year contract with AT&T. The price was reduced by a third after 2 months. The resulting complaints forced Jobs to issue an apology and offered a partial rebate to early purchasers of the phone. On July 11, 2008, at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference 2008, 2024 is like yesterday, Apple announced the iPhone 3G and expanded its launch day availability to 22 countries, and it was eventually released in 70 countries and territories. The iPhone 3G introduced faster 3G connectivity and a lower starting price of $199 with a 2-year AT&T contract. It proved commercially popular, overtaking Motorola's Razr V3 as the best-selling cell phone in the US by the end of 2008. Its successor, the iPhone 3GS, was announced on June 8, 2009 at WWDC 2009 and introduced video recording functionality. The iPhone 4 was announced on June 7, 2010 at WWDC 2010 and introduced a redesigned body incorporating a stainless steel frame and a real glass panel. At release, the iPhone 4 was marketed as the world's thinnest smartphone. It used the Apple A4 processor, being the first iPhone to use an Apple custom-designed chip. It introduced the Retina display, having 4 times the display resolution of preceding iPhones. It was the highest resolution smartphone screen at release. A front-facing camera was also introduced, enabling video calling functionality via FaceTime. Users on the iPhone 4 reported dropped/disconnected telephone calls when holding their phones in a certain way, and this issue was nicknamed AntennaGate. In January 2011, as Apple exclusivity agreement with AT&T was expiring, Verizon announced that they would be carrying the iPhone 4 with a model compatible with Verizon's CMDA network, releasing on February 10. The iPhone 4S was announced on October 4, 2011, and introduced a Siri virtual assistant, a dual-core A5 processor, and an 8-megapixel camera with 1080p video recording functionality. The iPhone 5 was announced on September 12, 2012, and introduced a large 4-inch screen up from the 3.5-inch screen of all previous iPhone models, as well as faster 4G LTE connectivity. It also introduced a thinner and lighter body made of aluminum alloy, and the 30-pin dock connector of previous iPhones was replaced with a new reversible Lightning connector. The iPhone 4S and 5C were announced on September 10, 2013. The iPhone 5S included a 64-bit A7 processor, becoming the first ever 64-bit smartphone. It also introduced the Touch ID fingerprint authentication sensor. The iPhone 5C was a lower-cost device that incorporated hardware from the iPhone 5 into a series of colorful plastic frames. On September 9, 2014, Apple introduced the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, and it included significantly larger screens than the iPhone 5S at 4.7-inch and 5.5 inches respectively. Both models also introduced mobile payment technology via Apple Pay. Optical image stabilization was introduced into the 6 Plus camera. The Apple Watch was also introduced on the same day, and as a smartwatch operates in conjunction with a connected iPhone. Some users experienced bending issues with normal use of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, particularly on the later model, and the issue was named Bendgate. The iPhone 6S and 6S Plus were introduced on September 9, 2015, and introduced a more bend-resistant frame made of a stronger aluminum alloy, as well as a high-resolution 12-megapixel main camera capable of 4K video recording. The first-generation iPhone SE was introduced on March 21, 2016, and was a low-cost device that incorporated newer hardware from the 6S in the frame of the older iPhone 5S. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus were announced on September 7, 2016, which introduced larger camera sensors, IP67 certified water and dust resistance, and a quad-core A10 Fusion processor utilizing big dot little technology. The 3.5mm headphone jack was removed and was followed by the introduction of the AirPods wireless earbuds. Optical image stabilization was added to the 7's camera. A second telephoto camera was added to the 7 Plus, enabling 2 times optical zoom and portrait photography, which simulates bokeh in photos. The iPhone 8 Plus and iPhone 10 were announced on September 12, 2017, and Apple's first event held at the Steve Jobs Theater in Apple Park. All models featured real glass panel design akin to the iPhone 4 wireless charging and a hexa-core A11 bionic chip with neural engine. AI accelerated hardware. The iPhone X additionally introduced a 5.8-inch OLED Super Retina display with a bezel-less design, with a higher pixel density and contrast ratio than previous iPhones with LCD displays, and introduced a stronger frame made of stainless steel. It also introduced Face ID, facial recognition authentication hardware, and a notch screen cutout, and placed a Touch ID. The home button was removed to achieve the bezel-less design, replacing it with a gesture-based navigation system. At its $999 starting price, the iPhone X was the most expensive phone at launch. The iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max were announced on September 12, 2018. All models featured the Smart HDR Computino full gravity system and a significantly more powerful neural engine. The XS Max introduced a larger 6.5-inch screen. The iPhone XR included a 6.1-inch LCD liquid retina display with a bezel-less design similar to the iPhone X, but does not include a second telephoto lens. It was made available in a series of vibrant colors akin to the iPhone 5C, and was a lower cost device to the iPhone X and XS. The iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max were announced on September 10, 2019. The iPhone 11 was a success to the iPhone XR, while the iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max exceeded the iPhone XS and XS Max. All models gained an ultra-wide lens, enabling 2x optical zoom out, as well as larger batteries for long battery life. The second generation iPhone SE was introduced on April 17, 2020, and was a low-cost device that incorporated new hardware from the iPhone 11 in the frame of the older iPhone 8 while retaining the home button and the Touch ID sensor. The iPhone 12 mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max were announced via a live stream event on October 13, 2020. All models featured OLED Super Retina XDR displays, introduced faster 5G connectivity, and the MagSafe magnetic charging accessibility system. A similar flat edge design was also introduced, which combined with stronger glass ceramic front glass added better drop protection compared to previous iPhones. The iPhone 12 mini introduced a smaller 5.4-inch screen, while the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max had larger sensors of 6.1-inch and 6.7-inch respectively. The iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max additionally added a LiDAR sensor for better accuracy in augmented reality AR applications. The iPhone 13 mini, 13 Pro, and 13 Pro Max were announced via live stream on September 14, 2021. All models featured larger camera sensors, larger batteries for longer battery life, and a narrower notch screen cutout. The iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max additionally introduced smoother adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, ProMotion technology in its OLED display, and 3x optical zoom in the telephoto lens. The low-cost third-generation iPhone SE was introduced on March 8, 2022, and incorporated the A15 chip from the iPhone 13, but otherwise retained similar hardware to the second-generation iPhone SE. The iPhone 14, 14 Plus, 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max were introduced on September 7, 2022. All models introduced satellite phone energy calling functionality. The iPhone 14 Plus introduced a large 6.7-inch screen size, first seen on the iPhone 12 Pro Max and into a lower cost device. The iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max additionally introduced a higher resolution 48 megapixel main camera, the first increase in megapixel count since the iPhone 6S. It also introduced always-on display technology to the lock screen and an interactive status bar interface integrated in a redesigned screen cutout entitled Dynamic Island. The iPhone 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, and 15 Pro Max were introduced on September 12, 2023. Starting with this group of devices, all models switched to USB-C as a power connector to comply with European Commission regulations. Applying Apple's proprietary Lightning connector after 11 years of use in previous models. All models feature the Dynamic Island, which Debuted of the iPhone 14 Pro, effectively retiring the notch display cutout. All models featured a dynamic island and a slightly curved edges and a frosted glass back. The iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max also replaced the mute switch and stainless steel edges with the action button and titanium respectively. Models. 42 iPhone models have been produced. The models in bold are devices of the latest generation. September 24, 2021, iPhone 13, Apple 15. March 18, 2022, iPhone SE 3rd generation, Apple 15. September 16, 2022, iPhone 14, Apple 15. October 7, 2022, iPhone 14 Plus Apple 15. September 2022, 2023, iPhone 15, Apple A16. September 22, 2023, Apple 15 Plus, Apple A16. September 22, 2023, Apple 15 Pro, Apple A17. September 22, 2023, Apple A15 Pro Max, Apple A17. Oh boy. iPhone OS 1.0, June 29, 2007, June 9, 2008, June 20, 2010. iPhone OS 3.1.3. 2 years, 11 months, 2 years. iPhone 3G, iPhone OS 2.0, July 11, 2008, August 9, 2010, March 3, 2011, iOS 4.2.1. 2 years, 7 months, 6 months. iPhone 3GS, iPhone OS 3.0, June 19, 2009, September 12, 2012, September 18, 2013, late single update, February 21, 2014, iOS 6.1.3, 6.1.6, 4 years, 2 months, 1 year, iPhone 4, iOS 4.0, June 24, 2010, September 10, 2013, September 17, 2014, iOS 7.1.2, 4 years, 2 months, 1 year, iPhone 4S, iOS 5.0, October 14, 2011, September 9, 2014, September 12, 2016, late single update, July 22, 2019, iOS 9.3.5, 9.3.6, 4 years, 10 months, 2 years, iPhone 5, iOS 6.0, September 21, 2012, September 10, 2013, September 18, 2017, late single update, July 22, 2019, iOS 10.3.3, 10.3.4, 4 years, 11 months, 4 years. iPhone 5C, iOS 7.0, September 20, 2015, September 9, 2015, September 18, 2017, iOS 10.3.3, 3 years, 11 months, 2 years. iOS 5C, iOS 7.0, September 20, 2013, September 9, 2015, September 18, 2017, iOS 10.3.3, 3 years, 11 months, 2 years. I think I already did that one already. iPhone 5S, iOS 7.0, September 20, 2013, March 21st, 2016, September 18, 2019, Web Security Update, January 23rd, 2023, iOS 12.4.1, 12.5.7, 5 years, 11 months, 3 years, 5 months. iPhone 6/6 Plus, iOS 8.0, September 19, 2014, September 7, 2016, September 18, 2019, Web Security Update, January 23rd, 2023, iOS 12.4.1, 12.5.7, 4 years, 11 months, 3 years. iPhone 6s Plus, 6s Plus, iOS 9.0, September 25, 2015, September 12, 2018, August 17, 2022, Web Security Update, March 5th, 2024, iOS 15.6.1, 15.8.2, 5 years, 8 years, 5 months, 5 years, 6 months. iPhone SE first, iOS 9.3, March 31st, 2016, September 12, 2018, August 17, 2022, Web Security Update, March 5th, 2024, iOS 15.6.1, 15.8.2, 7 years, 11 months, 5 years, 6 months. iOS 7 plus 7 plus, iOS 10.0, September 16, 2016, September 10, 2019, August 17, 2022, Web Security Update, March 5th, 2024, iOS 15.6.1, 15.8.2, 7 years, 8 months, 4 years, 6 months. iPhone 8/8 Plus, iOS 11.0, September 22, 2017, April 15, 2020, September 7, 2023, still supported, Web Security Update, May 13, 2024, iOS 16.6.1, 16.7.8, 6 years, 8 months, 4 years, 1 month. iPhone X, iOS 11.0.1, November 3rd, 2017, September 12th, 2018, September 7, 2023 still supported latest security update May 15, 2024. iOS 16.6.1, 16.7.8. 6 years, 7 months, 5 years, 8 months. iPhone XS, XS Max, iOS 12.0, September 21, 2018, September 10, 2019, current latest OS, 5 years, 8 months, 4 years, 9 months. iPhone XR, iOS 12.0, October 26, 2018, September 14, 2021, current latest iOS, 5 years, 7 months, 2 years, 8 months. iPhone 11, iOS 13.0, September 20, 2019, September 7, 2022, current latest OS, 4 years, 8 months, 1 year, 9 months. iPhone 11 Pro / 11 Pro Max, iOS 13.0, September 20, 2019, October 13, 2020, current latest OS. 4 years, 8 months, 3 years, 7 months. iPhone SE 2nd, iOS 13.4, April 24, 2020, March 8, 2022. Current latest OS, 4 years, 1 month, 2 years, 3 months. iPhone 12/12 mini, iOS 14.1, November 23rd, 2020, November 13, 2020, 12 mini, 12. September 12, 2023, 12. September 7, 2022, 12 mini. Current latest OS, 3 years, 7 months, 1 year, 8 months. iPhone 12 Pro / 12 Pro Max, iOS 14.1, 12.0, iOS 14.2, 12 Pro Max, October 23rd, 2020, 12 Pro, November 15, 2020, 12 Pro Max, September 14, 2021, current latest OS, 3 years, 7 months, 12 Pro, 3 years, 6 months, 12 Pro Max, 2 years, 8 months. iPhone 13/13 mini, iOS 15.0, September 24, 2021, September 12, 2023, current latest OS, 2 years, 8 months, 8 months. iOS 13 Pro Max, iOS 15.0, September 24, 2021, September 7, 2022, current latest OS, 2 years, 8 months, 1 year, 9 months. iPhone SE 3rd, iOS 15.4, March 18, 2022, current latest OS, 2 years, 2 months. iPhone 14/14 Plus, iOS 16.0, September 16, 2022, 14, October 7, 2022, 14 Plus, current latest OS, 1 year, 8 months. iPhone 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, iOS 16.0, September 16, 2022, September 12, 2023, current latest OS, 1 year, 8 months, 8 months. iPhone 15/15 Pro Max, iOS 17.0, September 22, 2023, current latest OS, 8 months. iPhone 15 Pro Max, iOS 17.0, September 2022, September 22, 2023, current latest OS, 8 months. Ooh. Production. Up to the iPhone 4, all iPhones and other devices such as the iPod Touch, models, and iPads were manufactured by Foxconn. Based in Taiwan in 2011, new CEO Tim Cook changed Apple's manufacturing strategy to diversify its supply base. The iPhone 4 2012 was the first model to be manufactured simultaneously by two standalone companies, Foxconn and Pegatron. The latter also based in Taiwan. Although Foxconn still produces more iPhones, Pegatron's orders have slowly been increased. The company made part of the iPhone 5C line in 2013 and 30% of the iPhone 6 device in 2014. The iPhone 6 Plus model was produced solely by Foxconn in 2019. Apple investigated reports that some Foxconn managers had used rejected parts to build iPhones. In India, Apple pays Wistron, a Taiwan-based manufacturer with a plant near Bangalore, to assemble iPhones to sell in the region. In 2022, Apple announced that a portion of the iPhone 14 will be manufactured in Tamil Nadu, India, as a response to China's zero-COVID policy that had negatively affected global supply chains for many industries. Apple has stated that they plan to shift 25% of iPhone production to India by 2025. We only have 6 months left. Hardware. Apple directly subcontracts hardware production to external OEM companies, maintaining a high degree of control over the end product. iPhone contains most of the hardware parts of a typical modern smartphone. Some hardware elements such as 3D touch and the haptic engine are unique to the iPhone. The main hardware of the iPhone is the touchscreen, with current models offering screens of 4.7 inches and larger. All iPhones include a rear-facing camera. The front-facing camera dates back to the iPhone 4. The iPhone 7 Plus introduced multiple sensors to the rear-facing camera. A range of sensors were also introduced on the device, such as a proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, accelerometer, gyroscopic sensor, management-o-meter, facial recognition sensor, or fingerprint sensor, depending on the model, and barometer. In 2022, Apple stated satellite communications to the iPhone with the release of the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro. Software operating system. The iPhone runs iOS. It is based on macOS's Darwin and many of its user-land APIs, with Cocoa replaced by Cocoa Touch and AppKit replaced by UIKit. The graphics stack runs on Metal. Apple's no level graphics API. The iPhone comes with a set of bundled applications developed by Apple and supports downloading third-party applications for the App Store. Apple provides free updates to iOS over the air or through Finder and iTunes on a computer. Major iOS releases have historically accompanied new iPhone models. App Store and third-party apps. At WWDC 2007 on June 11, 2007, Apple announced that the iPhone would support third-party Ajax web applications that share the look and feel of the iPhone interface. On October 17, 2007, Steve Jobs, in an open letter posted to Apple's Hot News web blog, announced that a software development kit, SDK, will be made available to third-party developers in February 2008. The iPhone SDK was officially announced and released on March 6, 2008. The App Store was launched with the release of of iPhone OS 2.0 on July 11, 2008. Apple requires all third-party apps to be downloaded from the App Store, with exceptions for ad hoc apps with use within enterprises. Developers must pay a yearly $99 fee as part of Apple's developer program. If the membership expires, the apps are removed from the App Store, though existing users retain the ability to re-download the app. Developers can quickly free apps or paid apps for which Apple takes a 30% cut in proceeds. Developers earning less than $1 million in annual sales qualify for the App Store Small Business Program, when Apple only taking a 50% fee. Though OS has far lowered market share than Android, its app ecosystem has been described as superior, with higher quality app and more iOS exclusive releases. Android version fragmentation, less uniform hardware, and lower app revenues have been cited as key factors. All apps must pass Apple's app review process before being distributed to the App Store. Apple may also stop distributing apps if it deems inappropriate. For example, in 2009, Apple rejected the Newspapers app due to the Sun's obscene topless page-free girls. In 2018, Apple removed Tumblr from the App Store, citing illegal content, causing Tumblr to ban all adult content from their platform. The App Store's review process has been criticized by developers as frustrating, anti-competitive, and asinine. Users can also install native apps outside the App Store through jailbreaking or through exploits, such as Troll Store jailbreaking, may also cause security issues and is not supported by Apple. As of October 2013, Apple has passed 16 billion app downloads. As of September 2016, there have been over 140 billion app downloads from the App Store. As of January 2017, the App Store has over 2.2 million apps for the iPhone. Jailbreaking. Apple restricts the installation of unapproved third-party apps and does not allow full access to the iPhone's file system. According to Jonathan Zittrain, the emergence of closed devices like the iPhone has made computing more proprietary than it was the PC era. Jailbreaking allows users to install apps not available on the App Store, customize the device in ways not allowed by Apple, and bypass SIM locks without carrier approval. Some jailbreak tweaks are later copied by Apple and implemented into iOS, like multitasking widgets and copy and paste. Apple attempted to use the DMCA to fight jailbreaking. However, in 2010, the US found jailbreaking to be legal. Jailbroken iPhones are at high risk of malware due to Apple's lesser control over the app ecosystem. In the United States, Apple cannot void an iPhone's warranty solely due to jailbreaking. Jailbreaks rely on exploits. Apple has improved the iPhone's hardware and software security, making these exploits harder to find. As a result, recent iPhones cannot currently be jailbroken. Accessibility. The iPhone contains a range of accessibility features that support users' visual, auditory, and motor needs. iPhones can notify users through on-screen banners, audio alerts, vibrations, or the LED flash. Vibration patterns can be optimized by users. Since iOS 15, Siri can read notifications out loud through earphones, and since iOS 16 through the device's speakers. Users with motor needs can use assistive touch to customize the way they navigate through menus. It can assist users who have the difficulties with some gestures, like pinching, and makes these gestures available by tapping on a menu. The user can create their own gestures and customize the layout of the assistant's touch menu. If the user has trouble pressing the home button, it can also be set so that it can be activated on an on-screen app. Gestures like rotate and shake are available even when if the iOS device is mounted on a wheelchair. Hand tracking can be used to control an iPhone using facial movements recognized by the front camera. Low vision users can enable VoiceOver, a screen reader which describes what is on the screen, while Siri allows for hands-free interaction. The iPhone also supports wireless braille displays to help users read its interface. Text can be enlarged system-wide. The Magnifier app uses the iPhone's LiDAR scanner to identify objects. For example, doors, people, and objects can describe them to the user, as well as their distance. Door detector can alert the user through sound, speech, and haptics. Hearing aids are a part of the Made for iPhone program that can be controlled from an iPhone. These hearing aids also feature Live Listen, which enables the iPhone to act as a directional microphone, beaming its audio to compatible hearing aids. Live Listen can help the user hear a conversation in a noisy room, or hear someone speaking across the room. Apple built Live Listen support to all AirPods, which can also relay audio from a connected iPhone's microphone. Closed captioning and external TTY devices are supported, while live caption can transcribe audio across all apps and display on screen. Sound recognition can recognize surrounding noises, including doorbells, kettles, water running, and babies crying, and notify the user of an on-screen alert. Guided access helps people with autism, ADHD, or sensory challenges stay focused on a single app. With guided access, a parent, teacher, or therapist can limit an iOS device to stay on one app by disabling the home button and limit the amount of time spent on an app. The user can restrict access to the keyboard or touch input certain areas on the screen. Marketing. The original iPhone was heavily promoted before its official announcement, creating buzz and anticipation. Upon its release, it was marketed heavily in television, web, and print ads created in partnership with TBWA/Chiat Day. Apple's premium market positioning has led the iPhone to be seen as a status symbol. The Apple ecosystem has been described as a key moat that increases iPhone brand loyalty. iMessage has especially been singled out with its green bubbles phenomena. In iMessage and MSS, messages from Android users appear as green bubble, rather than the blue bubble was used for text from other iPhone users. Group chats between iOS and Android are poorly supported. Reactions are displayed as text rather than bubbles, and images are sent through MSS, which degrades image quality. Some teens have described being ostracised after switching to Android, with Google has labeled bullying. This has been described by critics as a key factor, leading 87% of US teenagers to use iPhones. Retail. ISM unlocking. Many iPhones bought through a monthly carrier can contract ISM log, constricting their use to one particular carrier. While the iPhone was initially sold in the US only in the AT&T network with a SIM lock in place, various hackers found methods to bypass that SIM lock. More than a quarter of fifth-generation iPhones sold in the US were not registered with AT&T. Apple speculated that they'll likely ship overseas and unlock a lucrative market before the iPhone 3G's worldwide release. Today, many carriers either remove the SIM lock and automatically after a certain period, or do it upon request, either for free or with a small fee. iPhones bought from Apple are not SIM locked. Many carriers also sell their iPhone unlocked when purchased outright rather than on a long-term contract. Retail strategy. Since Since 2013, iPhone buyers can obtain a trade-in discount when buying a new iPhone directly from Apple. The program aims to increase the number of customers who purchase iPhones at Apple stores rather than carrier stores. In 2013, Apple unveiled the iPhone Upgrade Program, a 24-month leasing agreement with which Fortune described as a changing iPhone owners' relationships with mobile carriers. Repairability. Only Apple stores and Apple authorized service providers are allowed by Apple to perform general replacements. Apple has taken steps to make third-party apps more difficult to make more. Apple has taken steps to make third-party repairs more difficult. iPhone components are soldered and many are glued together. iPhones receive low repairability scores, and part due to the difficulty of obtaining genuine parts and the difficulty undertaking each repair. This has given rise to the right to repair movement, aimed at giving users cheaper options for repairing their phones. Apple has lobbied against right to repair legislation. Multiple jurisdictions aim to introduce right to repair laws, introducing the EU, UK, and US. In the past, Apple bricked iPhone 6 models after the home buttons were replaced, displaying an error 53 message. Apple caught this bug in a recent update to address this issue. On iPhones with a Touch ID sensor, the home button cannot be replaced by users or independent repair shops without losing Touch ID functionality, since Apple has not made the calibration tool public. In more recent models, starting with the iPhone XR, Apple displays warnings in the settings app of the battery display or camera is replaced by a third party. Additionally, some features are disabled when a part of non-genuine is detected by True Tone or battery health measurement. iFixit notes that a proprietary cloud link system configuration tool is required to complete a part repair, meaning that even replacing a genuine part with another genuine part will fail Apple's genuine parts check unless said tool is used. In 2022, Apple rolled out a self-service repair program following any user to buy parts, rent repair tools from Apple, and obtain repair manuals. The program received a degree of praise by iFixit and repair advocates, who also critically noted that Apple maintains control over the parts supply. Privacy, tracking prevention. Apple introducing app tracking transparency (ATT) with iOS 14.5 in April 2021. ATT requires apps to ask for expert permission before being allowed to track the user across other apps and websites. If the user refuses, the app cannot access Apple's Identified for Advertisers (IDFA), an identifier used to provide service personalized ads. ATT does not prevent personalized ads that are based on user behavior within the app itself. The feature has been criticized by some anti-competitive, including Facebook, whose shares fell by 26% after its rollout. Apple exempted their own app from their anti-tracking measures, which has led to antitrust investigation by the French and German governments. Location tracking controversy. In July 2010, Apple claimed that its corrected iPhone uses GPS coordinates and nearby Wi-Fi networks twice a day. A Wall Street Journal investigation found that Google's Android sent this data several times an hour. In September 2010, forensic expert Christopher Vanes discovered a hidden encrypted file unnamed consolidated.db that contained the record of iPhone users' locations. The file was added with the June 2010 iOS 4 update, although previous versions of iOS stored similar information in a file called h/sales.plist. On April 20, 2011, The Guardian published research by Alistair Allen and Pete Warden, who found that anyone with physical access to an iPhone could obtain a detailed record of its own location and movements over the past year. Moreover, the file was automatically backed up by iTunes to any computer the iPhone was synchronized with. A Wall Street Journal investigation found that users' locations are still stored with location services are disabled. The controversy led to U.S. congressional scrutiny and an FCC investigation, and was dubbed Location Gate by the media. Apple responded on April 27, 2011, claiming that the data was used to cache nearby Wi-Fi hotspots and cell towers in order to improve location speed and accuracy. The company also claimed that locations being corrected when location services were off and being stored for more than a year were both bugs. Apple issued an update for iOS version 4.3.3 or 4.2.8 for the CMDI iPhone 4, which reduced the size of the cache, encrypted it, stopped it being backed up to iTunes, and erased it entirely whenever location services were turned off. Nevertheless, in July 2014, a report on state-owned China Central Television called iPhone tracking a nation security concern. Current iPhones retain a frequent locations database which records where users have been, along with the exact times they arrived and left, raising concerns about the data that could be used in courts. This feature can be turned off. Child safety controversy. In August 2021, Apple announced plans to scan iCloud photos for child abuse imagery through an algorithm called Neural Hash, a filter expand images and received by children using iPhones dubbed Conversation Safety, to be rolled out later that year. More than 90 policy and human rights groups wrote an open letter to condemn both features. Apple is planning to implement Neural Hash on devices rather than in the cloud, led the EFF and security experts to call it a backdoor that could be expanded to detect other types of contents, which would decrease users' privacy. Apple claimed the system was misunderstood, but announced in December 2022 that the photo scanning feature would never be implemented, and otherwise, conversation safety was added to iOS 15.2. Security. Apple iOS is regarded by some security experts as the most common malware than Android. Less than 1% of mobile malware targets iOS. Encryption. Prior to 2014, the iPhone stored all messages, pictures, and videos, contracts with audio recordings, and call history in unencrypted form, enabling easy access by law enforcement. This changed with iOS 8, which adopted file-based encryption. Apple does not hold the encryption key and cannot be compliant to turn over user data. Even when presented with a government warrant, companies like Grayshift and Celebrate developed exploits that enable law enforcement to extract user data from iPhones without needing the user's passcode. In 2015 and 2016, a dispute unfolded between Apple and the FBI. The FBI had recovered the iPhone 5C of one of San Bernardino's attackers, and iCloud backup was at the phone from a month and a half before the shooting. The U.S. government attempted to obtain a court order against the All Rights Act, compelling Apple to introduce a modified version of iOS that would allow investigators to brute force the device passcode. Tim Cook responded to the company's website outlining the need for encryption, arguing that backdoor would not compromise the privacy of all iPhone users. The DOJ withdrew its request after the FBI bought an expert to bypass the iPhone's passcode. As a countermeasure, Apple introduced USB restricted mode, which was subsequently exploited too. Pegasus malware. In 2016, researchers discovered the Pegasus suite of exploits targeting iOS and Android, which led to significant international media coverage. Some Pegasus exploits are zero-click, meaning they can fully compromise the device with no user interaction. For example, by sending a malformed iMessage to a user that would not even trigger a notification. Pegasus can corrupt most data, including chats, passwords, and phones, and can turn on the phone's microphone and count remotely. Apple quickly issued an update fixing Force Entry and other known Pegasus exploits. Though Pegasus continues to be used, relying on new exploits, Apple also sued NSO, the organization behind Pegasus, announced a new security bounty and added an optical lockdown mode to iOS 16 that reduces iPhone's attack surface. Prominent victims of Pegasus include Jamal Khashoggi and numerous activists, businessmen, and politicians. Pegasus has been widely used since 2011 and is still used by law enforcement governments as of July 2022. Reception and legacy. The original iPhone has been described as revolutionary and a breakthrough handheld computer and the best phone that anybody have ever made. Wow! It is now Apple's best-selling product, has been credited for helping to make Apple one of the world's most valuable publicly traded companies in 2011. Newer iterations have also received praise and awards. Before the iPhone, smartphones are mostly used for texting, calls, and email. More advanced functions were harder to use and inconvenient on a smaller screen. They were also hard to develop for and lacked the thriving app ecosystems like the App Store released in 2008. Many iPhones were heavily customized by mobile carriers, which led to feature fragmentation, prevented these phones from turning into thriving software platforms. In contrast, Apple's iPhone SDK provided a wide range of APIs, made mobile development far more accessible, and was instrumental in turning the iPhone into a Swiss Army knife with a wide range of features and apps. Successive iPhone models have generated a significant fan enthusiasm, which many customers queuing up in front of Apple stores on launch day. As of 2021, the iPhone has larger brand loyalty than any other smartphone. The iPhone's success has led to the decline of incumbents Nokia, BlackBerry, and Motorola. RIM, Symbian, and Microsoft all attempted to develop more modern operating systems to compete with the iPhone, like Mamo, Windows Phone, and BlackBerry 10, while unsuccessful. Google successfully started over on their Android project and designed it for the mass adoption by carriers and phone hardware manufacturers. Today, iOS and Android account for 99% of smartphones used worldwide. Sales. Steve Jobs' initial target was to reach 1% of the phone market in 2008. Apple sold 6.1 million using the original iPhone between quarter 3 FY 2007 and quarter 4 FY 2008, and 11.3 million units of the iPhone 3G in quarter 4 FY 2008 and quarter 1 FY 2009. In 2008, the iPhone reached 1.1 of worldwide mobile phone market share and 8.2 of the smartphone market. During this time, it was quickly becoming prevalent in North America, and market share was ranked second in the US in 2009 behind the BlackBerry. In 2010, the iPhone 3GS was the best-selling smartphone in the US, the first time that iPhone device reached top spot in that market. iPhone sales grew continuously year over year since its introduction until quarter 2 FY 2016. The iPhone briefly surpassed BlackBerry in quarter 4 2008 and permanently overtook. It started in quarter 3 FY 2010. By 2011, Apple sold 100 million iPhones worldwide and became the largest mobile phone vendor in the world by revenue, surpassing long-term leader Nokia. Quarter 1 FY 2012 marketed Apple's best quarterly earnings in its history, with 53% of the company's revenues coming from iPhone sales. iPhone sales are strongly seasonal, breaking in the holiday season. Apple's Q1 released the iPhone 13 in quarter 1 FY 2022. Apple temporarily stopped Samsung with 84.9 million units shipped compared to Samsung's 68.9 million. In most quarters, Apple was the second largest smartphone vendor by units. Apple sold 223 million iPhones in its financial year 2023 and September 24. Today, Samsung and Apple dominate the smartphone market with 21.8% and 15.6% worldwide market share respectively. Due to Apple's small lineup, Apple often dominates the list of best-selling smartphone models. Despite its lower market share, the iPhone's premium positioning has led to it to capture nearly half of the global smartphone revenue and 80% of the global smartphone profits, with Samsung taking the other 20%. Carriers compete with each other to subsidize iPhone upgrades, which are seen as significant factors in iPhone sales, though this has reduced carrier profits. On July 27, 2016, Apple announced that it had sold the 1 billionth iPhone. Compared to other high-tech products, a greater proportion of iPhone users are female. The iPhone has been adopted by both consumers and business users. iPhone users were wealthier and spend more time on their phones than Android users on average. The iPhone is especially popular in the US, where it has 50% market share and used by 87% of teenagers. Worldwide, the iPhone accounts for 78% of the high-end $1,000+ smartphone market. Android overtook the iPhone's installed base in 2010, according to NPD Group, during Apple's earnings call on January 27, 2021. Tim Cook said that 1 billion smartphones are being actively used worldwide. Engaging markets. While other manufacturers make separate entry-level phones, and Apple's entry-level phones are the previous year's models, part of an effort to increase its market share in emerging markets without diluting its premium brand. It also considers emerging market tastes on its product design. For example, introduced a gold iPhone after finding that gold is seen as a popular skin of a luxury product among Chinese customers. In 2017, Apple said manufacturing previous years' iPhone models in India in 2022. It began manufacturing the current iPhone 14 there too. Analysts have speculated that this was probably caused by Apple's desire to reduce its dependence on China and to overcome Indian import duties. In 2023, the Chinese government banned the use of iPhones by government civil servants in what is seen as an effort to reduce dependence on foreign technology and strengthen cybersecurity. Oh my god. I did it. Wow. It didn't even take me an hour. Wow, okay. Alright, I did it. 52 minutes. That's how long it took me to read the entire Wikipedia article for iPhone. Honestly, I thought it was going to take me a lot longer. I thought it was going to take me like twice as long to finish it, but I did it. In less than an hour. Wow. I thought it was going to take me like 2 hours for some reason, but I did it in less than an hour. Look at this. So, I read all of this in less than an hour. Wow. I feel like they made this article shorter from last time I read. Because remember last time I read for like 1.5 hours and then gave up. So they must have like made it shorter since then, which is kind of cool. Anyways, I did it. It took me I didn't want to do an hour, 52 minutes. So, wow. I'm finally done. Wow. I actually did it this time. Unlike last time I gave up. Alright, I think that's it. Goodbye. I'm gonna go touch some grass now.